Hi everybody! Today we're going to be talking about Lesson 19, Interpreting Pictures of Fractions, Decimals, and Percents. So there's kind of a lot going on in this lesson today, so I want you to take your time, pause it, rewind it, and also have your book out because I'm going to have you read a section in a little bit. We are on page 126 in your book. Alright, so here we go, example 1. What fraction of this group of circles is shaded? So when we have a fraction, the top number is going to tell us the number that is shaded, and the bottom number is going to tell us the whole, or how many there are all together. Okay, the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. So, when asking what group of the circles is shaded, the number shaded is going to be our numerator. So in this picture, we have 1, 2, 3 circles are shaded, and our denominator will be out of these circles that there are all together, or all of the circles. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. So 3/5 of this group is shaded. Okay, so again, we have our numerator as the number shaded, and our denominator, the number of circles there are all together. Okay, let's look at example 2. What fraction of this circle is not shaded? So we're going to talk about this circle. Again, we have our numerator and denominator. So the part that is not shaded will be our numerator, 1, 2, 3, 3 parts, out of 1, 2, 3, 4 parts all together. So 3/4 of the circle is not shaded. Okay, now it wants us to talk about what decimal part is shaded. If you have your fraction pieces, this is a good time to use them. I know that 1/4 equals 25%. So if I have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 to get my 3/4, then I can add these up, and 75%, whoa, it's a 5, 75% then is not shaded. So 3/4 equals 75%. Okay? All right. Now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to pause this video, and I would like you to read this section after example 2 on page 126, starting with fractions and percents are two ways to describe parts of a whole, and keep reading all the way through the top of the next page to where you're looking at the $3 and how they are split into fractions. When you are done, then come back and we will talk about that. Okay, so before we move on to example 3, let's just do a quick review of what they talked about. So they gave you a couple of rectangles, and this whole rectangle was colored in. And they said that one whole equals 100%. Then they give you another one, but this time they only colored in half of it. And they said that 1/2 equals 50%. So a percentage is like a fraction, and that it is talking about a part of a whole. So 1 whole equals 100%. Anything less than 100% is not whole. It's a part. It's a piece, a fraction. So 1/2, the fraction 1/2, is the same as saying 50%. So then they talked about money. And if we have $1, that's like saying you have 100 pennies. So money is a really easy way to think about percentages because there are 100 pennies in a dollar and 100% in a whole. So if you have a whole dollar, you have 100%. If you only have 50 cents, or half of a dollar, then you have 50%. If you have a dime and you have 10 cents, you have 10%. So think about money when you start thinking about percentages. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's look at example 3. What percentage of this square is shaded? So we have the square. We can see that it's been cut in half, and I know, here's my fraction, that 1/2 equals 50%. I also know that if I think about this as money, 50% is 50 cents. Well, since I am not having a square that costs $1, I know that this isn't really money, but I can turn this into my decimal. Just take away the dollar sign, and now I have the decimal 0.50. So here's my percentage of the square, and here's my decimal of the square. Percentages and decimals are very similar. Percentages have no decimal sign, but they have the percent sign afterwards. Decimals have the decimal point before the number and no percent sign. Very similar. Okay, let's look at example 4. Okay, 3/4 plus a dime is what percent of a dollar? Okay, well I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and a dime. So I know that I have 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, and 10 cents. So 25, 50, 75, 85 cents, 85 cents. Now I know that 100% equals 100 cents, so 85 cents equals 85%. That's it. Okay. When you do your lesson practice, it goes on to the top of the next page. When you are working on the table, I need you to draw the table. I need you to fill in the number of quarters and the number of dimes. They already give that to you, but then you need to fill in the percent of the dollar and the value. I would recommend you do the value first and then convert that into the percentage. It will be much easier if you come up with the value first. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the morning.